We're pleased to welcome now Kelly Bennett, Multimedia Journalist to SuperTalk Mississippi News.
Did you guys just start my segment with Joe Satriani? I was loving that. That was great.
All right, Kelly. Rhino's at the controls. He's in charge of that. Yeah, he must have done it just for you. But
it was actually Eric Johnson.
Sounded like
got
Satriani.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
They can both shred.
Yes,
there you go.
They can.
You guys in the news department have been fairly busy over the last week or so. What's the latest? I'm looking at the screen in our studio. Says that Jackson Airport's expecting peak travel during the holidays. That's one of the things going on. Of course, that is the expectation nationwide. Extremely busy travel day today, and then on the 27th and the 30th, I think I saw in some of the travel reports coming from the media. What are you guys tracking there?
We're talking about not just on the roads, Gerard, but also in the airports, on cruises. I guess people have decided they can spend money again now that the election is over.
Yeah.
And optimism seems to be on the increase. But, I always have you on while I'm working, Gerard, and you were asking about the first official day of winter, and I happen to have done a story on that today. So lows are going to be in the 20s and 30s across Mississippi tonight. Beware of that. The first day of winter, almost here. Tanya J. Powers with more.
Saturday marks the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. It's notable because it's the official beginning of winter, but also because it's the day with the least amount of daylight all year. The celestial event will happen tomorrow morning at 4:20 Eastern Time, and during it, the Earth's axial tilt positions the Northern Hemisphere at its farthest point from the sun, hence the darkest day of 2024. For fans of sunshine and more daylight in your days, the good news is they're coming. After the solstice, each day will have a little more sunlight than the one before until we reach the summer solstice on June 20th, 2025, which is the longest day of the year.
I also heard you talking about daylight saving, and President-elect Donald Trump is considering a permanent end to daylight saving time. Mark Meredith has that story.
The president-elect says he wants to lock the clock. In a social media post, he said he wants to eliminate daylight saving time.
Little buffering. Oh, we lost her. We lost Kelly. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. See if we can get her back. I'm watching the Amazon strike here, by the way. Oh, geez. The Amazon workers are striking at several locations, half a dozen or so, New York, Illinois, Georgia, California. And they are, of course, saying, blame it on Amazon management. They won't come to the table and renegotiate a deal with us. It's all their fault. So we got that, and then I saw that some of the Starbucks where they have stores which are unionized, they're also out there about to strike. They're not happy. They said they have to make too many drinks, that the drinks are too complicated. Oh, man. And that they also expressed some safety concerns, I think, as well. Yeah, the Amazon workers in Queens, New York, that is the district that AOC represents. They say, blame Amazon if your package is delayed, not me. I just want to get paid a lot more money and a whole lot more benefits. Amazon says the strike will not impact Christmas deliveries. On the C Spire text line, while we're waiting to get Kelly back, Scott and Pearl, I strongly support shutting down the government to simply postpone any vote until the new Congress convenes. The risk of further extensive short and long-term damage to our nation's overall condition is far greater with the passage of any CR by the existing Congress than any benefit of passing the various members of the Democrat Party and Republicans that seem to want to do this. He says, a shutdown is the best trump card that you could play, Speaker Johnson. Give that unified government should be in effect just a month from today. Please adjourn the House of Representatives, Mr. Speaker, so we, the people, can rest easier for the remaining holiday season and regain some much-needed confidence in your leadership capability. He also says, this is Scott and Pearl, I've assertively registered my humble opinion with my rep, Mike Ezell, and Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. I feel like it would be wasting my time to do so with Senator Wicker since he's generally unresponsive to his constituents. I hear you, Scott. I'll just make this point. I don't think anything's going to change. You can shut down the government, fine. We get it reopened, business as usual. We're still going to get a crazy spending bill. We're not going to get any meaningful reduction in spending. We already got a defense bill that increased last year by $26 billion. All right, Kelly, you're back. So we were talking about daylight saving time. You had a tape you were playing there for us.
Well, I was just saying Trump he would like to see it set and forget, basically. But you know what? Before we went out of time, since my camera froze, there was some big economic development news I wanted to share with you. Stark Aerospace planning to expand its operations in Mississippi's Golden Triangle. This is going to create 96 new jobs at their Columbus facility, courtesy of an over $61 million contract reached with the Naval Sea Systems Command in late October. The Navy wants to make Stark the leader in producing onboard missile canister launching systems. Gulf Coast Business Council CEO Jamie Miller believes Mississippi is a winner in the current economy.
You can talk about education, you can talk about taxes, you can talk about workforce. Mississippi clearly seems to be on a good track, and we're starting to see that return on investment.
Construction is slated to be complete within the next year. The new jobs starting to be filled immediately if you're looking for work. For more information on that, you can go to supertalk.fm. But, he talks about the benefit to the economy, and we have had so many announcements recently about these big economic developments, and the governor and state leaders have been getting these sites shovel ready to try to attract industry. And they've been actually doing this for years, kind of on the sly. I wouldn't say they've been doing it on the sly. You just don't hear a lot about it. And then all of a sudden, these big developments move in. So it's fantastic news.
Yeah, absolutely is. Mississippi, I think, is well positioned for future economic growth. And I feel like with the AWS investment, massive as it is, you're going to see more similar investments from other companies that operate in the technology space. I think we're poised to be a technology juggernaut. I really do. I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, and you can listen to our lawmakers, and you know that they're on top of that situation with the impact that could have on the energy grid, and they're trying to get everything up and running in regard to power and water and get the roads ready and that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. This was an unusual story I noticed today, Gerard. I thought I'd pass it on. Property owners in Ocean Springs got a tax break this year, but not exactly on purpose. Their tax bills are about $14 less than they should be. This is per $100,000 of assessed value. It's the city that made the mistake in calculating the tax millage rate.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So it's too late for the city to collect on the shortfall. So their plan is to make up the difference over the next 3 fiscal years. That'll start in fiscal 2025. City and county fiscal years run from October 1st through September 30th. Now, due to the error, and this is kind of a big deal, the school district has been shorted by $475,000. So the plan is for the school district to take out a short-term loan to compensate for the tax error, and then they'll repay that loan with the funds collected starting in 2025. It seems like such a small amount of money, but you see how that kind of thing adds up and benefits the school district in Ocean Springs. I just thought that was pretty wild.
Of course, the tax bills, property tax bills just went out. And I've seen some folks on social media actually post photos of their property tax bills, and they, of course, bemoaning the amount of those bills. There's some folks I know in Hinds County in particular that say we're not really getting the services that we're paying for here. So
yeah, that is not the only place I'm hearing that. But
yeah, I hear you. All right, Kelly. Appreciate you joining us. If I don't see you again or talk to you before Christmas, I hope you have a merry one and a happy new year. Thanks.
Merry Christmas to you, and you too, Rhino.